What's good with it in the hood with it? You already know how it is right here on Gunner's Profiles. We about to get it in with no types of added preservatives, man. Ain't no time for that. I'm gonna tell you guys a story, and this is a real life story, right? People are always asking me questions about prison because I've been on 4 yards, I've been on 3 yards, never on no 2s or 1s. I never did that. And it's not that they're suckers that are on 2s and 1s. It's that's where they were placed. That's where the point system took them. That's where their direction was directed. And sabes que, in a menudo style of direct fashion, I can't speak on the 1 and 2 yards. But one thing I can speak on is definitely them 3s and 4s. Because I ride, dipping on 4s, riding on 4s. I was definitely on them 4 yards. Now, the question that was posed to me, and I wanted to spit it right here on Gunner's Profiles, was how is it when there's cell raids? What happens? How do you get snatched up? Why do you get snatched up? What happens? What are the circumstances? And I'll tell you right now, it's different for every different group, and it's different for everybody. It's not going to be the same every time. They don't have no certain rhyme or reason or pattern that they do. One thing is they do like to hit you early in the morning. The morning shot, 3, 4, 5 in the morning is the best time to catch people slipping. Everybody, their guard is down. They're asleep. They're crashed out. You've had a long day, but they already know what it is, man. They come in there and it's on and cracking like Dinky and Donkey Kong. Now, trip out on this. True story, I'm in Susanville. And as a Norteño, I was active. We were not conforming to MAC reps, meaning we weren't going to put a MAC rep out there. Now, you ask yourself, what is a MAC rep? In that particular prison, it's not in all prisons, but in that prison, you have a MAC rep that speaks for your people. Okay, there's usually 1 or 2 of them, and they go and there's like an inner council. There'll be some Southsiders, some whites, yes, some woods, brother. Some blacks on power, right? Crips, Bloods, Kumis, whatever, whoever's put on that panel, and basically they speak on things, you know, so that way we can get more coming on that yard. You know, if there's going to be ice cream served on the yard, who's going to pay for the ice cream, things of that nature. And, you know, it's just a way for the authorities, the administration, to identify who's in position, who's doing what. And it's a way to calm the yard down so that way they don't have to do it. Because at the end of the day, where the gun might rule the yard, the gente run the yard. And they know that. They know this, man. Right? So that's just what it is. Anyways, at this particular time, we weren't conforming to MAC reps. We felt that if for no other reason, we shouldn't put a MAC rep out there. The yard had just flipped. We just posted up on the yard. We were still establishing our rhythm. And at the same time, to just have a MAC rep like that, we felt that that would be targeting. We felt that if we put a homeboy in that position, it didn't matter what homeboy, that would let the administration know he was someone of intelligence. He was someone to be watched. And that, right, could lead to our demise. And that was just the way we were thinking. You know, we got at who we were supposed to get at, and they said no MAC reps. So, hey, yes, guess what? No pinche MAC reps. Just the way it was. Anyway, so they decided to put our group on lockdown. Just our group, the Southsiders, the whites, the blacks, they were still functioning. They were still going to chow. They were still doing their regular rhythm on that yard. But at the same time, we were on lockdown. And I'll never forget my neighbors. One of them was from Sangra. The other one, I think, was from the SGV as well. This vault used to look out for me. Hey, he used to bring me sopas, CDs, things of that nature. I got a Buenos Dias every morning. A righteous ass Southsider, man. Raza, that's what it was all about, right? He looked out for the brown man. Because one thing about being incarcerated is we're all going through that same struggle together. You know, whether that they're from your group or not, you have to realize and recognize and respect the fact that they are going through a struggle. And if it would have been vice versa flip, if the Southsiders would have been the ones on lockdown or the ones incarcerated in their cells, guess what? We'd have been doing the same damn thing. Because brown recognizes brown and real recognizes real. And that's just to get down with the raza. For those of you that are out here wiggling, disrespecting each other and thinking that's the way it is, homes, and being a wannabe gangbanger, let me tell you something, homes, in real life, men respect men. Men act accordingly. They act with class and professionalism and respect, and they definitely know how to do time. That's the difference of a convict and a motherfucking inmate. An inmate's going to run and drop a kite and tell on you, and he's going to hit you with a 1030 on, put you on his enemy list, and make sure that he gets his soft shoe crown on the process. A real one, man, is going to do his time amongst killers and men and treat everyone like they should be treated. Treat everybody with respect, because that's how you want to be treated while incarcerated. Don't find yourself in a situation where you have to wiggle, gamble, do drugs and all that, because that's only going to be your demise. A real one just does his thing and doesn't act out of character, but definitely plays that role to the fullest. Now, that's real game 101. Trip out. So I remember this particular night, me and my cellie are sitting in our cell, and I can't tell you every different detail because it was an activated thing, man, and I can't speak on their politics, but let's just say we were doing exactly what we were supposed to do. And we're chilling in that cell. It was a regular day. It was a regular day. Program shutdown had happened. So usually with us, after program shutdown had happened, I can't speak for other cells or their cellies and how they wiggle and get down. But me and my cellie had a rutina. We had a program and a plan. You know what I mean? We'd throw a little TV on, watch just a little bit of TV. And then after that, we'd shut it down, crash out, you know, because we had to wake up very early in the morning. As soon as that gallo hit, Buenos dias, Esporme. We were up. You know what I mean? We were functioning. Mattresses were being rolled. Shit was getting untucked. And it was time to go hit that yada. That was time to go hit chow hall. But at this particular time, we're on lockdown. When we're in a lockdown situation, we were on a half 60, meaning a soft defensive stance. If that door cracked and anyone looked funny, we were about to get our money. We were going to get off where we were mad at. But at the same time, this place was pretty calm, cool, and collect. That, like I said, the wiggle was real. Nobody was really tripping. The Southsiders were showing love. The whites were doing their own thing. They were pretty deep in Susanville. And the brothers were on the other side. Now, where my particular cell was on the other side of the day room. The day room is split into two different sides. One side was the north, the others, and the blacks. And the side that I was actually on, where my cell was located, was the whites. It was the whites, the paisas, and the Southsiders. Now, of course, there's a linea that goes all the way around this building. And if you walk past that linea and you go into someone else's territory, someone else's spot, you could get booked, Toms. You know what I mean? They're going to run up on you real quick like they did Miklo, La Onda style, right? But so you stay out wiggling out above, around that line. You just know what it is. Go to your side of the day room and then you're good in the hood. But anyways, my cell was located where it's located. You can't ask the fucking administration to put you where they put you. You're going to get what you got and got what you get, right? So bam, me and my cellie were on the bottom tier. We're like in cell 116, I think it was. It might have been 130 something. I can't remember. Anyways, we're on the left-hand side. So we're chilling, everyday routine, everyday mission. And the lockdown situation is ugly, but we had some sopas. Like I said, the Southsiders were looking out. Some of the Africanos were looking out. It was just lovely. It was lovely in the cell. We had only been on lockdown at this time about a week. So it was nothing to it but to do it. We got right into the groove of things. It was nothing but machina and writing all day and reading. Pretty much education. So we're preparing ourselves to go out because the word on the curb is eventually the administration is going to let us out. That's what usually happens. They break it down after a little bit. You know, they're like, okay, we'll work with you, you know, because people are going to start tripping. Well, why are the Northerners being treated differently? Why is this being treated differently? People are 602ing. People, of course, are fucking writing grievances. Hey, shit's happening in there. You know, no one's going to just sleep on a lockdown. No one's just going to kick it. That's not the way the wiggle works, right? Especially on a 4-yard or a 3-yard, period. So anyways, we're doing our thing, and there's a lot of things that are mandatory on a 3 and a 4-yard that I can't speak on, but let's just say the mandatoryization was good in that cell. So I guess the administration said before they were going to let us off lockdown, they must have got amongst each other, the IGI, which is the Internal Gang Investigation Group. They wear the black patches. They must have got together and felt that if for no other reason, they were going to hit the leadership in that institution. They were going to hit the leadership, and a lot of the leadership was spread out. But I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to say this. They thought my cell was in a leadership role, right? They thought my cell had influence over that particular building. And I'll just say this, they weren't right and they weren't wrong. How about that? 50-50. But this wasn't no 50-50 yard. This was a real general population. This was last in yard, 3 yard. This was real wiggleization. Now, so anyways, I remember that day. It was cool, man. Me and my cellie had just busted a little bowl, man. We had ate good. I think we were watching, there was institutional movies that they would play. We were watching one of those movies. We crashed out before the movie even ended. And that was it. And your body will tell you. One thing about prison is any little sound, because it's never quiet in there. Every little sound, every little movement, you know what I mean? You're up, Holmes. You're up and you're ready to rock. You got your pedazo out and let's go, right? It is what it is. Plus, you have to be very, very leery of your cellie because you never know, especially as a norteño, if a motherfucker's going to try to move on you in your sleep. You know, maybe some people on the yada that feel a certain way about your situation. I don't know, man. A lot of things happen in prison. It's hard to explain unless you've been there. Those that have know exactly what I'm talking about. It's never quiet. It's you always hear that bzzz from the damn fucking lights. It's just never quiet. Okay. So, anyways, I started hearing a little bit of movement. It was about 4:30 in the morning, right? I started to hear a little bit of movement, and I heard a fart, and I knew, oh man, my cellie got one, right? So I basically put the wool blanket over my shit. That wool works wonders, right? Because I ain't trying to smell his cagada, because man, I done smelt it, and that water from Sakura was different. His shit hit different, right? So anyways, I leaned towards the wall like, oh, hell no, I'm up right now. My son's asleep. I might as well just tuck myself. I'm going to try to jack off a little bit while I'm here, right? So he doesn't understand the situation we're going through. And bam, I'm late night creeping, doing my thing. And I remember crashing out, falling asleep. Just grabbed the sock, rolled it up, and threw it, right? And which real ones know, right? When I'm starting to go to sleep, boom, it hit, right? These vatos hit us. It felt like a hurricane, a tornado, and an earthquake at the same time. What they did was they hit us with a big spotlight. Bas! That spotlight is so bright, it blinds you. And that immediately hits your senses. When you're waking up and they hit you with that spotlight, you can't see nada and they rush, right? What they had done is they had cut the water off in our cells so we couldn't flush nothing, right? So we already know what time it is. As being an active norteño, we're not going to let anyone come into our cells and get off. We're not going to let anyone come to our cells. We're going to fight like we have to fight, right? So as soon as that light hit, boom, I jumped up off my bed and I started swinging. Ooh, I'm going, right? My cellie's pushing me towards them so he can start stuffing shit down the fucking toilet, right? In the meantime, in between time, I'm not going to lie, I had my pedazo and my bundle in my ass. That's exactly what it was. This is real talk, right? So I'm just getting off. Boom, boom, they're slamming. They pick me up. They slam me out there. Get down. And now they're getting my cellie. My cellie's wrestling with him. He's a big-ass dude. He's fighting with them, tussling, right? They eventually drag him out. Well, at the same time that they're dragging us out of the cell, our neighbors on the left-hand side, not the Southsiders, but on the other side were also homeboys, a couple homeboys from Silas. They're snatching them up too, right? The homeboy's looking at me and shaking his head like, got us. I said, oh, hell no, right? So they snatch us up. There's these wooden benches in the day room. That's where they throw us on. They handcuff us, zip tie us, throw us all on their shirts off. We're in our boxers. They strip us down and they start to immediately tape us up, right? Or this is exactly how it went. They started to tape us up. And I was like, oh shit, and that means we're going to potty watch. There's going to be a potty watch situation. Now, the reason they're taking us to potty watch, they want to know if we have anything secreted, if we're holding anything within our bodies. Of course, being activated, it was pretty much that. That was the case. So I'm shitting my pants because I'm tripping. I got a pedazo. That's an extra 8 to 9 years, right? I got a bundle. I don't want to get caught up. You know what I mean? You get a bundle. Even though, you know what I mean, I'm not giving it to them, they still got me with a bundle. It might have some extremely hot information in it. It's just a bad situation to be in. You're disorientated, groggy. And that is what happens when they hit your cell, right? So they snatch us all up. They got about 20 of us. They immediately take us to the wheel. Now, this is how the wiggle got real for me. I was able to side some shit, right? Slide. And I slide. And I slide. And I slide. What happened? Guard! I slid on your bitch asses, right? This is how I did it. In Susanville, when you walk into the oil, which is administrative segregation, I think it's building 3. Anyways, they take you in there. And right in the middle, instead of that day room's made up different because it's all plain. There's no seats, there's no chairs, there's no fucking wooden benches to sit on. There's cages. They put us 2 to each individual cage. Should have never did that, right? I'm gonna tell you what happened right now. They unhandcuffed us, they got us in the cage, and immediately, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, damn, they taped us up. They're slipping. We got a potty watch. I started to tell my cellie, let's unwrap. We started to unwrap, and before the IGI, they're up there talking to the placas in the tower. They're like, no. Stop! I'm already shit. I already shit my whole pants and the pedazo and everything fell out and I kick it. Get up out of here, buddy, right? That's scared, you're gone. If it ain't, possession is 9/10 of the law. If it ain't on me, I don't know who the fuck's it is, right? Prove it. That's it. You got shit and it smells like straight cagada, but hey, I don't care. This is my fucking chocolate factory. That's how I'm gonna wiggle. Bam! There's shit everywhere. It just smells like caca. We're all, I don't know, right? Anyways, you know, bam, the placas come, you know. Hey, we're fucking getting the wheelers and we're fucking rubbing them and shit, smashing them so they can't read them. It's just all good, right? In the hood. Pedazo was gone and I'm like, thank goodness, right? Anyways, that was that particular time they jammed us up. They got nothing, they get nothing. But for the most part, how it usually goes down is pretty much similar to that. I've seen other groups get snatched up. One time, I was in Corcoran and they hit the Southsiders and they hit the Southsiders violently and viciously. And it was just 2 cells that they hit, but they placed these dudes in the showers, one up top and one on the bottom. This is how they were getting down, or excuse me, this was Tracy. And it wasn't the Southsider, my bad. It was the whites. And they snatched them up and they put them in the fucking showers, right? There was showers up top. They put them in the showers, handcuffed them, and they put the other guys down. And let me tell you something, what happened right here. This was crazy, right? The white guys had all their pieces unsecured, meaning they had pieces in their cells, and these white dudes was fighting. There was kickboxing matches going on. It was crazy, right? That was what happened in Tracy. I remember that. Now, the one with the Southsiders was in Corcoran. And I remember when they snatched these guys up, they hit their cells. They hit their cells about 1 in the morning. It was crazy. Everybody was looking through the window like, oh, shit. And it was going down. Now, they hit any group whenever they're going to hit them. If somebody drops a dime, if somebody drops a fucking kite saying, hey, this group is going to move on these people or this particular group, and usually it happens after someone falls off. If someone rolls it up off the yard, goes into the program office and checks in, that's the time that usually raids are going to happen. So everybody starts tucking their shit. You start stashing your shit wherever you got to stash it and do your thing. I can't tell you the stash spots because Sasuke, fuck it, you'll never get it out of me. Period. Active or non-active. I ain't telling on that. So anyways, Vatos will start tucking their shit and doing what they have to do, because usually when someone from your group rolls it up, they're going to hit all the real ones. They're going to hit everyone that's in position. They're going to hit everyone that is supposedly in a leadership role, or they feel that are making moves on that yada. That's just the way it goes down, man. Now, I did see one where I guess they had got a kite. This one, there was these two cellies that were black. They were both from Kumi, right? Or they were from the Bay Area. Area, right? And what had happened was, I guess these cellies had got into some type of confrontation that threw hands. And one of them was a younger dude. The other one was an older convict. The other one was a young inmate. The young inmate decided that for no other reason, he should tell on his cellie and let the blackas know that his cellie had a piece on him, right? So I remember what happened. This was crazy, right? This was incorporated. So we're chilling. Everyone's chilling. It's late night. You're sleeping. And all of a sudden we hear, no, stop, right? And the blackas are banging on this door. I don't know how they stuffed their door, but the blackas could not get this door open. And they're just fucking trying their hardest. And this black dude's in there whacking the fuck out of his cellie. And it was vicious. I remember when they brought him out, they took one out on the gurney. I don't know if he lived or died. I never asked. I didn't give a fuck, right? But they brought him out, and the other one, he had sangre from head to toe. He was like, man, this Richmond. I remember he just kept saying, this Richmond. And the other dude was snatched up. And then, of course, we found out the story. He had told on his cellie. And when they came to raid, that dude just pulled his piece out and was like, fuck it, I'm going to get off where I'm mad at. So shit happens, man. When you're on them 3 or 4 yards, it's a different type of animal, a different type of beast. People think, you're just in prison, you're doing your time. But if you involve yourself in certain situations, and sometimes you're not even involved, you are definitely going to get snatched up. You are definitely going to get raided. If your cell never gets raided in prison, if you've been on a 3 or 4 yard and you've never got raided, you're a nobody. You weren't doing nothing, man. Stop it. Get the fuck off the internet, right? You basically never did that. Every group segment, every group will get hit. That's just the way it is. The Internal Investigation Group, the IGI, they will hit people, man. The Kukui, that's what they do. That's their whole position in life, is to make your life horrible. They're in there trying to track down gang members. They're in there trying to fuck that yard up, a lot of the scare tactics that they do is, man, the yard will be programming, functioning fine, man. And they cause problems on the yard. They'll come in big groups, about 20 of them, and stand on the yard like this, wearing their black patches, and everybody freaks out and everybody's all shook up because they're like, oh man, I hope they don't snatch me up. And then what they'll do is they'll position themselves in front of a lot of the buildings, and as people are going in, anyone that's all taqueado down or looks like there's somebody, they'll snatch them up and start patting them down. I've seen them snatch dudes up right there, throw them on a hot concrete and start taping them up for potty watch. I mean, it's just crazy, the way it goes. If you think you're going to be on a general population yard and motherfuckers are going to be telling and snitching and telling who's doing what, that's a tactic, man. Art of war. People do that. Oh, man, we don't want these vatos to be on this yard. So what will they do? They'll fucking drop a kite, man, and get that whole group snatched up and on lockdown, right, so they can wiggle. It happens all the time. I'm not going to tell you what particular group does that over and over again, but there are groups that do that. Real talk. There's other people that the wiggle is just real, man. They go out there to that yard, they function, they do their thing. Like I said, the yard could be going good for 4 or 5 months, no problems, and then something happens and the whole shit is toe back. Nobody even wants to go there. Anyways, for those of you that ask me the questions how it is on a 3 and a 4 yard when you get snatched up, when your cell gets raided, it's an ugly situation. Especially when you're sitting there all hogtied and you're thinking, damn, bro. And she was just going to give me on my one when I was sleeping. I was sleeping good. I tell my cellie one time, I said, damn, bro, hey, I had 2 fat girls. One of them was just, man, you don't even understand. I was living I thought I was on the calles again. He's like, damn, bro, is that right? I was having a nightmare and shit. I'm glad they woke me up. I said, no, this is a nightmare. Anyways, with that being said, up the Jaboose, move with a purpose, get everything that you want coming to you. If you have questions, I'll try to answer them. I can't tell you particulars of certain things because I don't want to speak on certain politics that go on behind the prison walls. It's none of my business. It's none of your business. We shouldn't even ask those questions. But it is what it is, man. Raza, stand up. You already know what it is. If you like this, hit that like and subscribe with a thumbs up. Hey, make sure that you put that notification on also. You're tuned in for every piece of content that I drop because I'm dropping some of the realest, illest content on YouTube. Guaranteed. If you don't like me, you have a problem with me, hey, Gunner, I just don't like you. Well, then fuck you, Holmes, and hit me with the thumbs down. See, heavy as the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle just like you continue to get on my channel, watch my videos. We're all going to do what we does because on power. You shall watch Whack 100, even though he got 3 fingers going like that. The gun. Bang, bang.